let's get cracking with our predicted lineup. All right, so it's going to be a 4-3-3 formation as per usual. And in goal, we are going for Bryan Gil.
Yeah, I think he's got good flexibility. I think he can just about touch the crossbar. So I think that should be good enough to put him in goal, I believe. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think he can serve us well in this game for sure.
Great. Hasn't had crosses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he deserves his chance. Hasn't had too much game time this season, so I'll put him in there straight away.
He can play out the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely spot on. So it'll be definitely good for us while we're playing out the back. Going to right back. This was a really tough call. We could have gone for Pedro Porro, but we are just siding with David Harris from the Irish Hotspur.
Yeah, he's got great crack. And I think he'll be up and down that touchline like nothing. He can handle Doku as well, I think, quite easily. All he has to do is just, with that flat cap, put the cap over Doku's face and he wouldn't know where to go. So easy.
Flat cap army coming to the fore tomorrow night. Right centre back, we are bringing back the one and only Davinson Sanchez.
Is he technically still on loan? I'm not sure. I think we can maybe bring him back just for this one game. One game contract. I think we all miss him, don't we? So I think Big Dave can get back into the team.
Left centre back, we are going for a Champions League hero this season in Eric Dyer.
Another player who I think, he's done brilliantly for Bayern, and I think recall him from his loan. I think he can definitely handle Haaland's pace. I think Haaland running in behind it shouldn't be a problem for Eric Dyer. So
I think he's definitely best suited to play the high line against the Man City attack. I think it's definitely a recipe to see us to victory on tomorrow night. At left back, we are going to stick with the tried and tested method of Emerson Royal.
Yeah, we all know how great he is at that inverted left back role. I think he can do it to a T, as we've seen. So I think I've got no issue with playing Emerson left back here.
So that's a back four of Bryan Gil, David Harris, Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer and Emerson Royal. In the number 6 position, we are actually putting forward myself. I'm going to be playing the number 6 role going into the game tomorrow. I've had a bit of training towards the game. I'm going to be going to the stadium and I am going to be fit and firing, ready to mark Phil Foden out the game.
Yeah, calm, composed. You know how to set the pace of a game, I think. And I think Rodri's got nothing on you. So I think you're definitely going to be dominating that central midfielder.
Rodri is going to be having nightmares after facing me. And in the number 8 role, we are going for Simeon. Simeon Daniel will be playing in the number 8, going up and down that pitch, playing that Pape Matar role. Probably better than Pape at the moment.
Well, they used to call me the North London Michael Brown back in the day. So I think I can snap at people's ankles. I can get in their faces and make sure I'm giving 110%. So, yeah, got to be me in midfield.
And then to make up that 3-man midfield in the number 10, we are going for the one and only, the truth of entertainment, Mr. Box Office.
And he knows what to do. He knows the truth. He knows exactly how we need to play to win the game. So I think Alex will give his all. And I think when it comes to truth and everything, I think Alex is the guy for it.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be Phil Foden's worst nightmare going into this one. Or not Phil Foden's worst nightmare, but Ruben Diaz's worst nightmare going into this one. On the right-hand side of the attack, we are giving the nod to Brian Daigle. I think definitely he's got the pace to really counteract that Man City defence.
Well, I think he might struggle at times, but he's just going to look over to his left, see Daniel Levy in the box, and then all of a sudden he'll need all the motivation he can get to get stuck in. So I think Brian Daigle, it'll be interesting to see when he's on that touchline on Levy's side how he reacts, but I think he can definitely give Gvardiol a run for his money.
Most definitely. Up top, we have got a really, really surprising inclusion, and I think it's just about going to work out. I think he can get at least 2 goals on the day. And he goes by the name of KPV.
It's KPV. Who else up front than Kyle? To be fair, he might get more goal contributions than our strikers in recent weeks. So big up to Kyle. And we all know he's got it in him to cause trouble against the Man City backline. So it's got to be KPV up front.
And then, to finish off our final 11, on the left-hand side of the attack is going to be the one and only Expressions. And he is going to be oozing sauce down that left-hand side.
To be fair, if you look back at our goal recreations, he did score a really nice goal from the left-hand side.
That's true.
So you've got to be careful. You don't want him to do too well. But, X has he's got it in him to absolutely bamboozle our Man City backline. So him on the left-hand side.
So there you have it. Let's run through that predicted lineup with you guys one more time. It's Bryan Hill in goal, David Harris right back, Emerson Royal left back, Dyer and Sanchez in the middle at the back, myself at the number 6, Sim in the number 8, Mr. Box Office himself in the number 10 with Expressions, and Brian Daigle supporting KPV. Maybe, I think that'll keep it quite respectable. I think probably about 10-0 to Man City or something, maybe even more.
Okay, 12, I think. 12.
Well, that is that from our prediction. No, I'm joking. Let's get into the actual predictions. And I hope you enjoyed that, by the way.
Everyone's having a great time of it in the comments.
In terms of the injury news coming into this game, Ange has been speaking in the press conference. What is the injury news coming into it?
Basuma is going to be ruled out for the last 2 games. He picked up an injury against Burnley, so he's going to be unavailable. Richarlison, we know, picked up a calf injury before the game, so he isn't going to be available for the last 2 games as well. And they are added to the list of Udogie, Forster, Sessegnon, Werner, Solomon and Ben Davis, who are all going to be out for the last 2 games of the season. So some more injuries for Tottenham to contend with here. Yeah, injuries seem to be building up again, don't they? Luckily, it's the end of the season. In terms of the lineup, obviously we are going 4-3-3 formation. In goal, it will be Vicario. Yeah, well, he struggled, didn't he, against Man City last time out? That was pretty much the start of the struggles, wasn't it? Vicario getting beat at his near post against Nathan Ake, and ever since then he's been targeted. So I do wonder whether he'll come up with a big performance here, but obviously he is going to start. But yeah, that is something to note, I think. Right back, obviously it will be Pedro Porro, who I think had a really good game actually on the weekend. Yeah, and we know what quality he's got. I think he's now second to goal contributions to, I think it's Trippier or Trent, I'm not sure which one, in the Premier League from fullback area. I think Ben White's up there as well with him. Yeah, I think after his goal yesterday, on the weekend, I think he overtook him. So unbelievable from Porro. I think obviously former Man City player as well, isn't he? So want to do one against his old club. Let's hope not. But he's going to have a tricky game, because I remember in the first game, at the Etihad, had a really tough time against Doku, who was causing him a lot of problems. So it's going to be interesting if he matches up with him again. Right, centre-back, you all know who it's going to be. It will be Cuti Romero, one of the players that haven't let his standard slip in this latter stage of the season. Yeah, phenomenal player. It's going to be interesting to see him play against Erling Haaland, because Haaland is such a physical player, but he's going to want that running in behind. I don't think Haaland likes it when defenders are really combative against him and really are aggressive against him. He likes them standing off him, and that's not what Romero's going to do. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Left centre-back, we are actually going to side with Radu Dragusin. He came in, didn't he, in the last stages of that Burnley game, and I thought he put in quite an assured display. Yeah, we're going to put him in. It's going to be difficult because if Haaland's running in behind and Van der Ven isn't there on that side, you could argue you could get him behind. But I think what Van der Ven will give us on the left will mean Dragusin comes in at the centre, and hopefully aerially he'll help us. And I think he had a decent cameo against Burnley as well, so we're going to put him in for this one. And then obviously left back, like Sim said, it will be Mickey Van der Ven, and I thought he was brilliant when he moved over to the left against Burnley. He's just got that power, he's got that speed, he's got pretty much everything that you want from a left back in this system. Got in that goal scoring position as well, and what a finish, going onto his left and tucking it away like a seasoned striker. Yeah, phenomenal. And I think he's got attributes to be a decent left back. I think in the inverted role, I do have question marks about him, like when he's going to play in those tight spaces. But if he does what he did against Burnley, get on the overlap, use his pace in that direction, I think he can definitely be a threat. And obviously defensively, we know in that position he's going to help us a lot. So I think Van der Ven is going to start a left back here. Yeah, I do think if you do play this defence, Mickey Van der Ven at left back, it does kind of I wouldn't say worry, but let's say if Ange Postecoglou might worry in terms of Man City having a bigger threat in behind without Mickey Van der Ven there. Yeah, definitely. In the number 6 position, Bissouma is out injured. We've sided with Rodrigo Bentancur in the 6. Yeah, obviously Højbjerg did start the last time Basuma didn't start, but we are going to side with Bentancur, seeing as he came off the bench against Burnley. I thought was pretty good as well. So we're thinking he's going to come in and play the number 6 role in this one. And I think maybe it's a view of also maybe next season of him having more minutes in that role as well. So going to put him there.
In the number 8, we are keeping Pape Matar Sarr in the team. Still a bit up and down from Pape, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought he was decent against Burnley, but I think obviously his role for the goal wasn't great, and he was quite weak in the challenge. He did nearly score, but was a really good save from Muric. Hasn't been his consistent best in recent weeks, but I think there were also signs on the weekend that he is getting back to his best, so we're going to put him back in.
And then to make up that middle 3 will be James Maddison in the number 10. I thought in the second half he had his best performance in a while in a Spurs shirt, really controlling things in the middle of the park, dropping deep, becoming an option in the upper end of the pitch as well. So it was nice to see Maddison up those performance levels.
Yeah, and I think he's, for all people, again, I've said this, even when people have been criticising him, I think he still does things on the pitch which really benefit us when it comes to his ability on the ball and in tight spaces. And I think a lot of the time the problems haven't been him. A lot of the time the problems have been the players around him not on his wavelength. And I feel like that's also made him worse. But I think there were signs against Burnley, again, that he's starting to get in more goal-scoring positions. He's starting to hurt the opposition a bit more. So hopefully he carries that on. Well, hopefully he carries on next season.
On the right-hand side of the attack, we are going for Dejan Kulusevski. I thought he started on the left against Burnley and just looked so uncomfortable there, really uncomfortable. And when he moved over to the right, he did look a little bit better. So we think he starts on the right this time.
I thought he looked like a completely different player when he moved to the right. I thought he looked so awkward on the left. I think he didn't know. I think he just didn't look comfortable going on the outside on his left foot. I think he didn't back himself like with his pace to beat a man on the outside, which you need. And I thought when he went back on the right, he just looked a lot more comfortable and a lot more assured, a lot more threatening as well. So we're going to put him back on the right, but what it means for the left-hand side is also causes a problem.
Yeah, up front it will be Heung-min Son, the only option. Well, we do have Dane Scarlett, who came on against Burnley, and I thought he looked really good with the movement that he was showing, but I think it will be Sonny.
Yeah, and we know he can be a threat in behind. It's all about whether we can find him, and we know Man City are going to push up and they're going to try and commit a lot of players forward. So Son, he always has a great record against Man City, so I wouldn't be surprised if he causes trouble in this one again. But yeah, without Richarlison, he needs to be up front.
And then to make up that final 11, it will be Brennan Johnson out on the left-hand side. I mean, he always looks a lot more accomplished on the right, but we are running out of options at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of who's worse on the left, Decky or Johnson, I guess. And we've sided with Johnson to be on the left just because Decky looks a lot better on the right. And Johnson has had a couple of good games on the left, although recently I've been very disappointed when he has played there against the likes of Liverpool and against Chelsea. I thought he didn't have good games there at all. Obviously against Aston Villa he did have a very good game there, so hopefully he plays a bit more like that.
Or not.
But yeah, I think we're going to put Johnson back on the left. But I wouldn't be surprised if they swap a bit. Or maybe it could be Son on the left and Johnson up front. He did that against Liverpool, didn't he?
He could do that. The thing that worries me going into this game is that Son and Kulusevski always do well against Man City. That's what worries me. But let's run through that lineup with you guys one more time. It's Vicario in goal, Porro right back, Van de Ven left back, Dragusin and Romero in the centre-back positions, Bentancur, Sarr and Maddison as a middle 3, Johnson on the left, Kulusevski on the right and Heung-min Son up top. What is your score prediction?
I went 2-1 Man City. I think they will win. Man City this stage of the season always come up strong. And look, Ange said we're going to play our football and see where it gets us. And if it gets us the same place as what has been the last few weeks, it will be defeat. Yeah,
in this game, I'm hoping that Spurs do put on a show, but we just fall short. That's what I'm hoping, like a really good performance with a lot of chances created, but I just hope that Man City just about get the better of us. That's what I'm hoping. But I want to know your thoughts out there. I am going 3-1 to Man City as my score prediction. So that is our predicted lineup, and that is how we think we're going to line up.